7 was the final here at home. Tomorrow night, they will still be here to play the Atlanta Hawks at 7 o'clock. Hear that here on MMS, I believe. Tonight, Game 1, Guardians-Yankees in the Bronx. That is going down at 7:37 here on MMS tonight. So your pregame gets going 30 minutes prior. As of now, in this series, neither team has a win. So, listen, this is how it all starts. We'll find out how it ends. Guardians-Yankees tonight at Yankee Stadium on MMS.
They say we don't have a sports guy on this channel. Right there.
Bill Squire is our sports guy.
But, I mean, with commentary like that, you're gunning for his job.
I've never been called the sports guy.
Are you kidding me?
You're gunning for my job?
I am
for
gunning
your
for
title.
his title of sports guy.
I'm
trying
to. I want to make less money, and
I'm
have
trying
my
to
name
do
taken
it
down.
quietly, and here Mary's blowing me up.
I'll do what I want.
Trying to
all.
do this very subversively to become the sports guy.
I mean, that's fine.
On the show.
Be the sports guy on the show.
You're already-
You're really battling more with Poundcake than me, because I
know.
am all about the hot goss these days.
Gross.
Perez Bilton later on today.
Mhm.
The Poundcake Sports Break, for those of you feeling like you've really got to get dug into the X's and O's, that'll happen tomorrow.
Mm-hmm.
Are you going to be talking about Tom Brady? You probably don't know what you're going to put in it yet, do you?
No, I honestly wait till the last minute, and even sometimes the morning of, because sometimes stuff just breaks on TMZ, and the stories I have sometimes they have, just like any other news organization. There's
course.
always slow news, and I'm like, all right, well, I can do this and put my little Poundcake spin on it. But sometimes the stories that pop up in the morning are a lot juicier, so then it throws off my whole
Of
thing.
course.
So I got to change it.
You can be editing down to the wire.
I usually do. Even if I have like the stories, I edit down to the wire just for word economy and everything, and just make it sound better, and just, I don't know, emphasis on stuff.
Understood. So anyway, Guardians-Yankees tonight on MMS. And on the iHeartRadio app, by the way, if you're listening there. Hey, Mike, hello.
Hey, Alan.
How are you?
I good. How are you?
Good.
I have an answer for you as to what's going on downtown with all the priests.
Oh, yeah? What's going on
So-
down here with all the priests?
Much like you, I grew up Catholic, but I'm no longer practicing. But I guess technically I'm still part of the club. And my best buddy since childhood, he is a priest, and he is there. And what's happening, it's called the Canon Law Society of America. And they're having, like, keynote speakers from the Vatican and Germany and all over the place. And they're putting all the priests up in the Renaissance Hotel. And I'm a delivery guy,
Ironic.
so I haven't had a lot of time to yes, exactly. Yes, it is. But I haven't had too much time to text back and forth with him. But the feedback that I've been getting from him so far is that it's been boring and there's no Wi-Fi.
Well, yeah. I mean, I think Jesus provides the Wi-Fi. I don't know if anybody needs. Why aren't they making a big deal about this? I mean, a couple of weeks ago, we were talking about how, like, Cleveland's going to be the host to the Old People's Olympics or whatever they call that. And then, like the RNC came here a few years ago, and that kind of flopped. But, I mean, whatever. Why aren't they puffing their chest up about the 2022 Canon Law Society of America convention?
I don't know. Trying to be low-key. I don't know, prevent assassination.
They don't want to draw attention to themselves. What with all of their subdued garments and their... so that right. Mike's right. It goes. It started yesterday, and it goes through this Thursday. I'm going to download the convention guidebook in the next break, Mike.
I wouldn't be, too excited over it. My buddy, as far as priests go, he's actually pretty liberal, and he went to one of the speeches he went to was about gender identity issues. He said the first half hour was just the speaker, like, presenting terms and stuff, and he never really got to anything helpful, so he just walked out.
Right. By the way, being a liberal priest, your friend should not be the outlier. That's technically what they're supposed to be. It's the whole love your neighbor type thing,
I agree, and I kind of feel like his generation, all the people he went to the seminary with, are kind of trying to push it into a new direction.
That's good. I just wish that there were as many of them. That's become increasingly irrelevant to younger generations, so they have a serious dearth of people who are going into the seminary. But is your friend locally ordained, or I mean, is he here, or he had to come into town for this?
Yes, no, he's in Cleveland.
Well, listen, I appreciate the info, Mike. Thank you, pal.
Thank you, Alan.
All right, got the info there. So they're doing the Canon Law Society of America convention. Now, I imagine they're probably not going to be operating outside of a certain radius. So if you're downtown, you'll probably see a lot of men of the cloth. But, like, you're probably not going to get over to, I don't know, maybe Twist. Maybe they'll put on their lay clothes, literally and figuratively. Maybe there'll be some, I think Poundcake should be out in these streets this week for the Canon Law Society of America convention. I don't know how, I assume they do this every year. You should be out there seeing what's sus.
He's on the phone with someone.
Dang it.
No. But I mean, am I
But
wrong?
no,
I mean,
you're not wrong.
He should be out there.
You should be testing
Figure
their faith.
out, That's right. Testing their faith is what he should be doing.
Putting a little doubt.
There you go. A little zhuzh on it.
All right.
Okay, well, thank you. I just wanted some information, and there it is. I was reading about a dude who took shrooms right before he went on an airplane. And, you know, for some people, that can be a very calming thing. You know, some people, depending on how big your dose is, that can be a calming thing. It was not for this guy. He flipped out on the plane. He was yelling at people. He was lying down in the middle of the aisle. He grabbed a flight attendant's boobs. It says Miami to D.C. It's not a long flight, right? You kind of get up and then you're down.
Did he grab him in a sexual way or like a greeting?
He hugged her in a way that felt sexual and not like a greeting. Is that what she said, Lindy Korn?
Her boss hugged her and squeezed her breasts, which felt sexual in nature, not like a greeting.
Use her breasts.
Oh, man. I love the not like a greeting.
Yeah,
you know how
not
you'll
like
go.
a greeting.
Yeah, the old greeting, grabbing somebody's boobs.
Yeah. The
That's a
honk,
whole
honk,
other.
hello.
That's right. That's a whole other thing there. Hi, how are you? Hey, thanks for coming in. We appreciate you flying, United Airlines. A guy named Cherry Sevilla started to cause a disturbance 1 hour into the flight. He grabbed the arm of the person sitting next to him before he began wandering around the plane, they said. And running up and down the aisle, he was clapping near the cockpit. I mean, depending on what flight, you might have a soon-to-be retired pilot in there whacking it next to his co-pilot.
It's lucky there wasn't an air marshal just putting the back of a gun in his head.
Yeah. Yelling obscenities. He broke off a piece of the bathroom door and opened it when it was occupied.
Jeez.
The flight crew got him back to his seat, but his screams grew louder. He said he refused to get back into his seat, grabbed a flight attendant's boobs. So they had a couple officers on board. They handcuffed him. I wonder what these guys were waiting for, by the way. All this stuff transpired before the guys got up and put him in cuffs.
They're like, I'm trying to watch this Dahmer series. Let me at least finish the episode, and then I'll go and arrest him. But
yeah. The
it's
new
a cliffhanger.
The new Bryan Cranston movie is on this flight. So they cuffed him and sat him down, and he told people that he had taken mushrooms and that he wasn't totally surprised that he was acting this way. He said, I got to tell you, I've taken them before, and I was the exact same way. I just figured I would test it out. But maybe smaller dose. People get very, very anxious on flights. If you've ever sat next to somebody who's terrified of flying and it's visible on their face, you always hope that that's all it is. I've told the story years ago when we flew to Dublin to do the show over there. You know, you're flying all night. At least the flight we took, so you're sleeping. Some of it are trying to. I didn't sleep because the guy next to me was having night terrors. He would sit there and then fall asleep, and then he'd start mumbling or whatever, and he'd wake up. This Indian guy wake up screaming. I'm like, oh, this is just chef's kiss. This is going to be perfect. Like to get a little bit of shut eye. Got to be on the air the next day. It's like a 7-hour flight. I want to be fresh. I want to not have a foggy head. And this guy, I'm not the only person, obviously, that he was keeping awake. A lot of her. The other Erica was 10 rows behind. I don't know if she heard it. She took
she had flight anxiety too.
Yeah, but she zonked herself out.
Yeah.
I didn't take anything.
Well,
This guy should have taken something.
Maybe he did, and it just wasn't enough.
Maybe.
Maybe he needed more.
But this guy, they cuffed him, and he said, "I'm not surprised. I did mushrooms." So kids, just be careful.
Just seems like a weird time to want to take mushrooms because
Dude, you can't go anywhere. You're like
Yeah.
in camp, and you're not in
That's the
nature.
worst.
You're not like there's nothing really to look at or touch, or you know what I mean.
But if you can't handle your high,
Dude.
these grown people who don't know what they can handle. Hey, Bill.
Hey, Al.
What's going on?
Hate the show.
Thank you, sir.
Yep. Just wanted to comment on the priest and the airline thing. So airline, I'm the most nervous guy around. So if you're getting up to, go to the bathroom, I'm tackling. So I'm one of those guys, and I don't understand how the air marshals and cops take forever.
Well, I mean, they can't tackle a guy who's walking down the aisle. They got to make sure that he's not just going to the lavatory. But when he starts banging and stuff and lying down and yelling at people, like, "Hey, let's get this going here. Hop up, come on, protect and serve, man."
Al, you still there?
Yes, I am here, Bill. I'm talking to myself right now.
Al.
Yes, sir.
Oh, can you hear me now?
Yes, how
we
are
could
you?
hear the whole time.
Oh, I'm sorry.
That's
You-
okay.
Did you hear what I said before?
No, I did not.
Yeah. Okay. So, anyways, I'm wanting to comment on the airline and the
Yeah,
priest
okay. Yeah.
convention. The airline, I'm the guy that's like super duper nervous.
Yeah,
So, if you get up and like you're going to the bathroom, I'm ready to tackle you.
yeah.
So, but I don't understand how people get so drunk or so high that like, what do you think's going to happen? You get, and I don't know why the cops wait so long, but heck, that stuff's like a felony. You know what I mean?
But you don't take anything when you have to fly, Bill? You don't take a little something to just chill you out?
Maybe a Jameson and ginger ale. but
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. A $15 Jameson and ginger at the airport bar right before you get on.
From Sammy Hagar's
Cabo Wabo Rita Mexican Grill or whatever it
that's
is.
it.
Yeah.
Problem is, you get to your destination taking over the
Yeah.
birthday and you waste yeah. The priest thing, just they want to keep it really, really, really religious and low key, But the casino did offer him a package. It's the high roller package. I'll
There you go.
The high roller package. Yeah.
I'll
Okay.
have to leave. I'll leave on that one. so.
Yes, you will. Goodbye. Hey, let me talk to Eric. Hello.
Hey, hate the show.
Thank you.
That was a weird last call because the air went dead on the radio and the phone.
Yeah,
but
our phone system, it just takes a crap when it feels like it. It's all software now. So when it decides it wants to take a nap, that's what it does. So anyway, but I've got
Oh,
you
it
now,
it
Eric.
definitely did.
Yeah.
Yep.
What's up?
Hey, so back in the day when I had got out of college, I was flying every other week, fly out on a Sunday, back on a Friday, going from San Diego back to Cleveland, and I'm dressed, pretty nice, and that's what just tipped me off on this one. But I'm sitting at the window, old lady in between me and the aisle, and I started asking her, I had no idea why. Hey, do you like this airlines? She's like, oh yeah, I like this airlines. I was like, what would you do better if you were, able to do something? She's like, oh, I don't know. It's the ticketing process, blah, blah, blah. So I said, well, I got to get up and go to the bathroom. Apparently a stewardess came down and asked her if she needed anything. And this old lady says, I think the guy sitting next to me works for the airline. She's like, oh, okay. So I come back, sit down, and two stewardesses come up and they said, sir, could you follow us? They took me up to first class, sat me in first class, giving me desserts, giving me anything, any drink I wanted. I'm like, when you said when you dress nice, they treat you nice. Now, if I was in baggy jeans and my hat on backwards, but man, I'll never forget that flight.
Of course. They thought you
toasted
were.
me up.
Yes,
But
of
how did you know
course.
that was why, though? How did you know that it wasn't? Did they tell you afterwards?
They don't just
Why would
grab
they
people
grab
and upgrade
that?
them.
Why would they grab Eric after they talked to the old lady and just randomly put him in
Maybe
first
they
class?
thought the old lady was senile and annoying him, so they're like,
You're
"Look,
over.
sir."
Yeah, you're overthinking it.
Maybe he's overthinking it.
I thought the story was going to be that since he had gone to the bathroom and there was an empty seat, that they thought that the old lady was seeing things. But then he comes back and they put him. Ma'am, there's no one sitting next to you.
I got one more story, if you don't mind.
Oh boy, quickly, please.
No, flying from St. Louis to San Diego. It was I came from Cleveland into St. Louis to San Diego. I land in St. Louis, walked to the top of the ramp, and there was this stewardess walking by, and I said, "Ma'am, what does it take to get to first class on this flight to San Diego?" She walks me over to a ticket counter. She goes, "Upgrade him to first class," and walked away.
Yeah, a lot of times if you just go up and say, any way I can get upgraded to first class, if they can, a lot of times they will. They'll just be like, yeah, nobody ever asks. But if you ask.
It's no money out of their pocket, really. They
They don't care.
For nothing. I paid nothing.
Sure.
See, I don't know, though, if that is true, because
People who fly a lot will tell you that. They'll be like, if you ask, sometimes you hit the jackpot.
So I always fly.
Thank you, Eric.
I always fly United because I have their credit card, right? And when you when you log onto your app, or even when you get to the airport, there's a list of 30 people waiting to be upgraded to first class. And there's only like 12 seats. So I don't know that if any just regular Joe walked up and was like, "I'd like to be upgraded,"
Well,
that
no,
they would
I feel like
bypass
that's
all
olden days.
30
Not
of those
not
people.
under those circumstances.
I've
but
never
I mean,
had it not be those circumstances. You
I've
get
been
what
on
I'm saying?
I've been on a flight where there's been 3 people in first class and everybody's walking back to economy. So under that
guess.
circumstance, if I had known that,
I feel like those days are gone, though. I feel like it's more of what Mary's saying, because they're packing flights. And
Yeah, maybe.
I mean, when's the last time you've been on a flight that wasn't pretty much sold out?
last couple of flights I've been on were not sold out. I was super surprised. When we went to Mexico, it wasn't sold out. And the last time we flew was maybe to Denver. And I remember the last time and it was not sold out.
I mean, I fly
But like close
twice
to
a
sold
month.
out, but
Close, yes.
yeah.
Yeah, I
That's what I'm
fly
saying.
twice a month, and I haven't had a flight with less than 2 people in every single row. You know what I mean? Like, there's always packed out, and there's always a 20-person wait for the upgrades, and then another 30-person wait for standby.
Yeah, but you're going to hot spots like North Dakota State University.
Obviously, it's Devil's Lake
and
College. Thank you.
And Middletown,
Oklahoma
Nebraska.
City.
Right. You're going to places. These are heavy tourist areas.
Not like Denver and Mexico.
That's right. Trust me, I was surprised when we got on. I kept waiting because, you sit down and then you wait for the person to sit next to you. And you're like, all right. And every second that goes by where nobody's sitting next to you, you get increasingly hopeful. But those dreams are always dashed. Somebody will always come last minute, and nobody came. Last 2 flights. I had Gwen on one side, nobody on the other. I'm happy to take the middle. I'm a giver. But, obviously, those are anomalies. But that guy, dressed nice, looked nice. It's better to look good than to feel good. I've said this. Bill concurs.
No, I don't.
We're big believers in that around here. It is
disagree.
way better to look good
Feel good.
than to feel good, because here's what happens. You look great. You might be feeling fair to middling. They put you in first class. Now you're feeling great
Oh, yeah.
because you're in first class.
I got
I
upgraded
think
for
feel
my
great first and then look good.
I got upgraded for my 1 hour and 8-minute flight from where was I? Boston to Washington Dulles.
That was 68 minutes of luxury, wasn't it?
I had more room to sleep. I'll tell you that much.
But did you get enough sleep? Because it sounds
No.
like you're real cranky.
Because you're on.
cranky
First of all,
lady.
you're on a flight, so you can't really get any good sleep anyway.
Yep.
You're still sitting completely upright, except you get that 2-centimeter dink, like that little
That's right.
recline.
Yeah.
So you pass out for 15 minutes before there's turbulence or someone's yelling over the thing. and,
Yeah, well, sometimes that's all you need.
you know.
Hey, Kristen, hello.
Hey guys.
What's up?
So I have a flight from hell story for you. So first of all, I was in the window seat, And for whatever reason, I was in that row that's like in front of the emergency exit so your seat doesn't go back. So I'm sitting there, and this guy boards who has to be like 400 pounds easy, which is fine, no big deal. But I'm watching him come down the aisle, and he sits next to me, sits in the middle seat. And they bring the seatbelt extender, and he's getting all situated. And now I'm like mushed up against the side of the plane.
Yeah.
And can't put my seat back. I'm just stuck. And he's trying to talk to me, and I put this was a long time ago, so I had headphones on. So I put my headphones on. I'm trying not to engage, but he's talking. So this was when you used to get meals on the plane.
He's talking, his breath smelled like an open grave, didn't it?
Dude, it was so bad. And he had all these skin tags on his eyelids, and so like his skin tags are winking at me while he's trying to talk to me, which is a nightmare.
Yep.
So then the food comes, and I was like hangry at this point, and it was this little turkey sandwich, and all I wanted to do was eat this little turkey sandwich. So I unwrap it, I'm getting all my stuff together, and he turns to say something to me, and he's got his mouth full, and this hunk of turkey sandwich flies out of his mouth and lands on my food.
Yeah.
And now I'm just sitting there like, this is the worst flight I've ever had. It was terrible. And he didn't even notice. It was like this big hunk. It was so gross. And then I just was stuck.
And that's how I met your father.
Exactly.
Oh, sorry, I got
That's
my
right.
turkey bits on your food. And then he goes, you going to eat that now? Nope, not going to eat it now. Well, you live to tell the
It
tale,
was
Kristen.
Did you openly throw it away after that? Like, did he know you didn't eat it?
I just put it back in the napkin and put it back in the little container and just passed on it. But I didn't want to make him feel bad,
No.
so I didn't say anything.
I think sometimes
Maybe a
it's
little
okay.
shame will help.
Oh, Poundcake would have loved to have made him feel bad, by the way. He would have, if that had been him. Oh, God. Thank you, Kristen. I appreciate it.
I would just make faces. Faces go a long way. I don't have to say anything. What, bitch?
I got to take a break. If you'd like to text me, 35192, you can watch if you like at alancoxshow.com, and you can listen anywhere on the iHeartRadio app.
The Alan Cox Show on 100.7
WMMS.